keep forgetting to be grateful. And this is a dream. For some people, the dream is being healthy, being alive. You don't know shit, like I'm the best, like you should bow to me. Understanding this concept. And this is the challenge, because we live in a world where everyone has an opinion. And if you've got a business, a brand, if you're putting yourself out there, not everyone is going to like you. You can easily say, I am the most humble person there is out there. And guess what? There will be someone that won't like your energy. All this materialistic stuff is not something that you take with you to the grave. It's going to mean nothing when your time is up. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a podcast that's going to change your life. Are you ready to live your dreams? If you are, I want you to write that as a positive affirmation wherever you are listening right now. Write it in the comments. I am ready to live my dreams. Write it 3 times like Bart Simpson. I am ready to live my dreams. I am ready to live my dreams. If you're listening to this on your freaking gym session, in the car, on the train, on the bus, if you're running, if you're walking, doesn't matter what you're doing, scream it out aloud and say, I am ready to live my dreams. And let people look at you and think that you're freaking crazy. I'm telling you, man, no one ever made a statue of a critic, okay? They only made statues of crazy people that were crazy enough to believe that they could change the freaking world. And a lot of us, because we haven't achieved that greatness yet, or we haven't tapped into our potential yet, or we're still living in a little bit of fear, right? We don't think it's possible. We don't even, for me, guys, I didn't even know what I had. I didn't even know who I was. And what I'm telling you is that God is shaping you right now. You're going through a transformation right now. You're going through a journey. There's a test that you need to go through right now. And you're like, but why do I need to go through a test? Because, man, we got to see how much you actually believe that it's possible for you to live your freaking dreams. How much do you actually want it? Because guess what? What's great and extraordinary ain't coming so easy. Ain't just going to fall off the back of a truck so that you can go, oh, wow, my dream came true. It just happened like that. Just fell off the truck. And all of a sudden I got what I wanted. Nah, bro, you got to freaking go and hustle for it. You got to show up for it. You got to believe and believe and believe and believe. And you know when you need to believe the most? When you still haven't achieved it yet. When it still hasn't happened yet, when you haven't got what you wanted yet, when you've put in time and time and time and time and time, and you think that you should be as successful as you think you are, but you're not. And maybe things haven't happened like the way that you think they should, and maybe you got high expectations of yourself, or maybe you're comparing yourself to other people. But guess what, man? Come back to the present moment. Reflect on how far you've come. Reflect on everything that you've achieved. Reflect on the fact that you are alive, you're breathing, and you have something that there are many people out there that wish they had the help that you had, and you keep forgetting to be grateful, right? And this is a dream. For some people, the dream is being healthy, being alive. For some people, their dream is sleeping in a clean bed or having a clean shower. That's a dream. And many of us are very, 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 we get just like, man, clean water, big deal. I can just buy it freaking, here in Dubai. One of the things that is very amazing about this place is that everything is very efficient. So, for example, I don't know that a lot of you guys can have home delivery or whatever, but because Dubai is made up the way that it is, it's very efficient in terms of delivery. So there are many apps that I have on my phone, and rightly so, in terms of myself, my routine, my business, and everything that I do on my coaching space and working with all the clients that I work with. Well, guess what? My days are flat out. And if I had to think about getting in the car, and I know, this is like, well, don't be lazy, this and that. And let me tell you a story about not being lazy. I'll tell you in a moment. But one of the things that I love about Dubai is its efficiency. So whatever I need, I order it on my phone, 20 minutes, bang, bing bong, open the door, there it is. So I'm able to spend less time going out there looking for the shit. Rather, it just comes straight to my door. And it's not tomorrow, it's now. So everything is made very, very, and because it's a business, it really is. This is a space where a lot of successful people live, And it's all about efficiency. How can we spend less time doing the things we don't want to be doing so we can spend more time working on our businesses, working on being the change, working on helping more people? Because that's really all I do in my business anyway. I'm helping people change their lives, right? How can I spend more time on the podcast? How can I spend more time inspiring people rather than having to go out there and spend my other time on doing things I don't really want to do? So that's the one thing. But guess what? Sometimes God will test you, just like today. So as you can see behind me, I've got these two neon lights. They're blue. And specifically, I paid a little bit extra on Amazon when I was purchasing them because I wanted them to already be made up. And these lights, they come in like 3 or 4 different sections, and you have to like connect them. And some of them are already like the lights are already connected, all the wires are done, everything like that. They just come in a small box. You connect it all up, and it's done. And so I recently purchased some of these lights a couple of weeks ago, and in my other apartment in downtown in Dubai, and because I just moved my apartment, and they were already made up, and I was like, oh, no, because I paid a cheaper price, I had to put it all together, and I was like, oh, geez, because I paid cheaper, now I have to spend time putting it together. So these lights specifically, I paid double the price because I just thought to myself, you know what, if I pay more, they're probably going to be all set up. So when I get them, I don't have to spend half an hour or 1 hour trying to like put it all together and screw it all in. It's all going to be done and it'll be easy and efficient. Guess what? I opened the box. It was worse than the other one. It was like all in pieces. Like light strip was in pieces. The screws were everywhere. Like every single piece of it was undone. And immediately, what did I do? I got annoyed, and I was just like, freaking hell. I was like, man, I paid double for these. And you're telling me I have to put it all together? And there was God's voice. He's like, yes, Luke, I'm slowing you down right now. And I'm teaching you patience and I'm grounding you that you ain't too good, bro, to do this. Slow down. You're good enough. You're smart enough to put all these pieces together. It's your little puzzle. And it's like a little meditation for the day where I was just focusing on that. Seriously, it took me 20 minutes, half an hour, big deal. But there's a word in Polish, it's called narzekałem, right? I was like, I didn't want to do it. I was like a little boy whinging, going, me, I don't want to freaking do this shit. Like, it's annoying. Someone else to do it, right? But no, I stopped and I was like, nah, God is teaching me patience right here. God is teaching me like, hey, Luke, and the same, I just moved from an apartment in downtown because one of the bathroom toilets was blocked. And yeah, like think about it, blocked toilet, starting to smell and shit, you know. And I'd called and I'm just going to share this because it grounded me, you know. And like a lot of the times, it's very easy for you to go, well, that's not my job and that's not my profession or whatever. And so I'm going to call someone and they're going to do it and they're going to fix it. Right. So basically, I called the real estate straight away and I was like, man, toilet's screwed up. Like send someone to fix it because, it's starting to smell and, it's next to my bedroom. It's the ensuite and I need to I want to use the bathroom. Right. So 1 day, 2 days, no one's coming. One person comes, oh, sorry, can't fix it. I have to talk to the management or some shit. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is ridiculous. So, I'm starting to smell it now more because I go to the showers next to the toilet and I'm like, man, this is shit. Like, and there's no one coming. And again, everything is a mindset. Like you can sit there and complain and you can sit there and go, oh my God, look at these people. Like I could have easily called up the real estate, the guy that's managing the property and gone, you guys are idiots. Like I could have lost it, you know? But instead, guess what I did? I went onto Kareem, which is an app. I ordered some toilet cleaner, some disinfectant, I got freaking baby wipes, you know, and man, I got a scooper and I shoveled everything out of the bath, out of the toilet, cleaned it like freaking 10 times, and then closed the toilet seat. And that was it. and then never smelt again. But it just didn't get fixed. And then obviously they found us a new apartment and we moved. But in that moment, I was just like, I am not too good to clean shit out of a toilet, you know? Like, I'm not going to sit here and go, I'm like Luke Mind Power and, I don't clean toilets, you know? I'm like, man, you know, if something needs to be done, like, I'm just going to do it, you know? And so it was like these moments, like, are just like God sent just to like remind you of like, you know, of your humanity, of your humility, of like who you are. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of the times, you know, people just get on their high horse a little bit like, oh, I don't do that, or I'm too good for that, or whatever. And it's just like, man, you know, we're human. And I kind of like that. I like that about myself. And I'm sure that you can resonate, you know, because it's very, very easy. Like I said, you know, for us to think that we're too good for something rather, you know, and we don't do this kind of stuff, you know. But anyway, so I guess that's part of like maybe staying humble or something like that, you know. I remember my sister saying this to me 2022. She's like, you know, I know she's like my sister Caroline, she works closely with me in our business and with a lot of our clients. And you know, she said, "Luke, you're gonna start making a lot of money, you know." And she's like, "As you start to make a lot of money, stay humble." At the time, I couldn't. I guess I actually received it. I said, "Okay," and I felt very supported and cared for. Like I felt she cared about me, you know, and she just wanted me to like hear that, right? So I said, "Okay, yeah, sure, you know, fine." Like, and then as I became more and more successful, I saw this video of this guy in a bed and he was talking about staying humble, you know? And it was something along the lines of what humble actually means in terms of, you know, not being too loud or, you know, not being too confident or not like some people could speak. The thing is, if you've ever look up the word vanity, what does that mean? You know, is the difference between confidence and being cocky or like too confident or like, you know, walking around like you're a chauvinistic pig, for example, like I'm the shit, you know, like you don't know shit, like I'm the best, you know, like you should bow to me, like I'm the king and this and that kind of like crap, whatever, you know. So, you know, I guess so it's really like understanding this concept. And this is the challenge because we live in a world where everyone has an opinion. And if you've got a business, a brand, if you're putting yourself out there, if you're speaking up and sharing your story, if you're being an inspiration or you're sharing a service or something on the internet, on social media, on YouTube, wherever that is, even if it's in person, not everyone is going to like you. Okay. You can easily say, I am the most humble person that there is out there. And guess what? There will be someone that won't like your energy and they'll think that you're cocky or they think that you're too good or you think you're better than other people, right? Or they'll see through your humbleness and go, yeah, right, I don't believe what they're saying. Or they'll just won't agree with you, for example. And so that's the one thing that I've learned as well, that sure, I can try to be humble and be me, be genuine, you know, not like, you know, flaunting my wealth and success in people's faces and going, look at me, look what I have, you know. For me, it's not about what I have, it's how I make people feel. It's how I serve. For me, fulfillment is about service. For me, fulfillment and purpose is about helping people to transform their lives, which is what I do for a living. That's fulfillment for me. It's not about going, hey, look at how rich I am. Look at my bank account. Look at my cars. Look at my watches. Look at, you know, like it's not about that. That's not fulfillment, you know? So I'm staying true to my heart and staying true to, you know, this existence of what it is that we actually are. All this materialistic stuff is not something that you take with you to the grave. It's going to mean nothing when your time is up, right? But again, I'm not discrediting or your wealth or your materialistic possessions or anything like that. I believe it's healthy for you to invest in yourself, and that can be in the properties you own or the cars you drive or, you know, whatever it is that you buy for yourself, because it empowers you, because it makes you feel positive and you're happy and grateful that you can live the life that you're living and achieve your goals. So do what makes you happy. But at the same time, this is the switch, this is the challenge, that in doing what makes you happy is also going to be seen by other people as vanity, as you think you're the best, or as, oh, you're too confident or you're cocky. And so this is the thing I want you to remember. If you're going to take anything away from this podcast episode, and it's amazing because I was actually just thinking as I finished talking about cleaning the toilet, and I was like, okay, where is this going? I had this thought pattern in my brain. It's like, where is this going? Where are you taking this, Luke? And I almost paused and kind of didn't know where to go. And then all of a sudden, I remembered what my sister told me about being humble. And I remembered the story about, being humble is like being told to like dim your light. Like don't be too loud, like don't be, too aggressive with your dream and like chasing and be relentless and like motivated and inspired and putting yourself first and doing what you need to do to get to where you want to be. Because a lot of the times that's going to seem selfish. From anyone who's not on, and this is the thing, you're never going to be criticized by anyone who's doing more than you. You're only going to be criticized by anyone who is inferior to your growth and success. You're always going to be criticized by someone who's doing less than you. Because the people that are doing more than you, they know the struggle. They know the challenge. They know what it's like to persevere, to be rejected, to have people judging, have people not accepting you, have people talking shit about you behind your back, not having people that don't know how to communicate and respect who you are. They know. So you will be reminded and you will see the people that are doing more than you, that have done more than you, they will not look down on you. They'll actually look at you and go, hey, man, you can do it. Like, I believe in you. Just like I'm looking at you and I'm saying, hey, man, you can do this shit. No matter how hard it gets, you keep pushing. No matter how many times you get knocked down, you get the back up. No matter what happens in your life, you push forward all the time. I don't mean to punch the podcast mic, but I'm just emphasizing, let's go. You know what I mean? Because it's going to get tough sometimes. And sometimes you're going to feel like your back's against the wall. Sometimes you're going to feel like everyone's against you. Right? So even me expressing myself right now, and I'm on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook right now, there could be one person that is like, what is this bloke doing? Why is he talking like that? Who does he think he is? Right? So somebody has an opinion about my expression or about how I'm showing up. They don't know my story. They've never met me in person. They haven't listened to my podcast. They got no idea where I'm coming from, but yet they're making an assumption about who I am. And it could be a negative assumption, right? Or they could be saying, oh, he's so cocky, he thinks he knows it all, right? But guess what? Anytime when you actually get to sit with someone, you see people on social media, you see people in real life, you see people at events, you see people on TV, whatever, and you make assumptions as to what they are thinking or who they are or how they present themselves. And guess what? You don't know shit. Because 100% of the time, I bet you that if you got 5 minutes with that person and they shared with you their story about their adversity and about their troubles and about their challenges and about their turmoil and about their adversity and what they've been through to get to where they are, you'd probably sit there and you'd be dumbfounded. And you'd go, I didn't know that. Oh my gosh, I understand now. Now I understand why you talk like that. Now I understand why you are the way you are. Oh, I didn't know that. Do you know how many times, ladies and gentlemen, I get DMs from people that are trying to tell me to stop talking the way that I do? All the time. And you know what it does for me? Motivates me to keep going. So as much as I don't want to highlight negativity or people that have negative opinions about what I do, because I know that a lot of people out there really are genuine and really do want the best for me and really just giving their opinions and their 5 cents because they believe it matters. Well, guess what? Thank you. Like, thank you for all of your support. Thank you for everyone who subscribes to my Instagram page, everyone who subscribes to my Facebook pages, every client that I have in my coaching program, all the people that watch my free success trainings, everyone who follows me on social media. Thank you. But guess what? I ain't stopping for no one. I ain't quitting for no one. Any opinion, judgment, whatever. My responsibility is to protect my peace, protect my energy, protect my environment, protect who I surround myself with, and make sure that I stay on a high vibrational frequency so that I can continue to be the change that we need in the world, so that you can continue to tap into a frequency that's healthy, that's positive, that's empowering, that's motivating, that's encouraging, that's supportive, so you can live your best life. That's all I'm here to do on the Luke Mind Power podcast. And if you can't feel it, if you can't receive it, maybe in 6 months you will, maybe in 12 months you'll evolve. Maybe right now is not the right time for you. Because sometimes we need a little bit of time to go through life a little bit for us to actually appreciate what it is that we can't hear yet. Because everybody is on a different kind of vibrational frequency. And a lot of times I know myself that sometimes you try to talk to someone to share with them what you're doing or the journey that you're on or what you're learning, and you think that they can hear you, but guess what? They can't hear shit. They're trying to hear you, but they can't, because your energy is intense. Your energy is too powerful for some people. And you got to learn that. You got to learn like who's on your level, who's not. Because once you start tapping into that level of self-awareness, you'll start to make better decisions with who you allow close to you, who you allow into your proximity. It's either going to lift you up and raise your vibration, or it's going to drain you. And hey, sometimes you can use yourself and, in a sense, allow your energy to be taken if you're not feeling like you're receiving from someone. Sometimes you need to do it a few times, especially if it's with someone that maybe isn't able to reciprocate the same as you. Because at the end of the day, sometimes you do want to be an inspiration to them. You do want to support them, but you will know eventually you'll get to that plateau where you'll go, you know what? Enough is enough. It's not making sense to me anymore. I'm not feeling the reciprocation anymore. So now I'm going to set a boundary, an invisible fence that no one can see, but through my actions, people will be able to recognize it. Oh, they're not replying to me anymore. Oh, I called them and they didn't call me back. So this is why self-confidence is crucial to your success. If you don't build that confidence when you're growing, it's going to be hard for you to make decisions that are going to be beneficial for you, because otherwise people will continue, we call them energy vampires, will continue to drain you, and you'll continue to feel depleted, and you'll continue to feel low, and you'll continue to feel like you're going in the wrong direction. And that's why it's so important, man. So important. You have to have the confidence, and sometimes really it's just taking the risk and taking the leap of faith and just trying. Okay, this time I'm not going to reply to that SMS. This time I'm not going to answer that call. This time I'm just going to focus on myself, And I was actually having a team meeting with my team today, and we were talking about all of our clients and everybody who's working with us in our coaching programs. And I said, literally, what does it take to transform your life? And I'm like, it literally takes one decision, and then consistency in that decision over 4 weeks, 8 weeks, 12 weeks, 16 weeks. And once you've done that, you're good. There's so many breakthroughs and changes that happen over that period of time that you've kind of like, you've moved away from the old version of yourself that was in your way. And one of the things I always ask my clients is to say, what is blocking you right now? What's stopping you right now? Everyone will always say the same thing, me. I always say in the Zoom chat, everybody write in the chat, what's stopping you right now? What do you feel like is in your way? Everybody says the same thing every time, me, 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 me. you know? So we are the ones that are in our way, and we have to get out of our own way if we want to step into our dreams, our greatness, our potential. And this is the thing. I know myself, I'm just warming up. Isn't that crazy? Like legit. I've gotten to a point in business, in my platforms, in my content, in my podcast, with who I work with, the companies that I work with in my business. And I'm literally at the point where I'm feeling it. And I'm like, oh my goodness, like now is where I'm actually like just warming up. And I've been doing this work since like 2018, in not in terms of business, but I mean I've been helping people for a longer time than that. But in terms of like this awakening that I went through, it's been 7 years now. And that's why I say like success is a good 10 years. I know that sounds long, but if you never get started, then you'll always be late. If you never get started, you'll always look back and go, I wonder what would have happened if I started 5 years ago. You know, I don't sit here, and I don't want you to do this to yourself. Don't sit in regret. I know one of our clients, when she came off her anxiety medication after 35 years, and she was 76 on anxiety medication, and she started doing our program. And when she came off it, the one thing she kept saying was, I wish I'd known this earlier. I wish I'd done this earlier. Why didn't I know this earlier? You know? And I get it. And I feel for her, because no one told her. No one told her that she could come off it. No one told her that she could heal, you know? So that's that's definitely the challenge, right? In actually, really like making the progress and not being in your way with your mindset, because you can't shit on yourself. You got to know that you went through your life experiences the way that you did to get to this point. Now make the changes, grow, but then don't sit there in regret going, why didn't it happen? It didn't happen because it wasn't supposed to. You were supposed to get to your journey of life where you are right now to be able to be in that situation, for you to get over it, go through it, work through it. And now it's time for you to move forward with all the wisdom, all the experience, all the stuff that you've been through to get to this point. And now your best life begins, you know? But anyway, guys, thank you so much for showing up. Thank you so much for being here. It's been a blessing to spend some more time on the Luke Mind Power podcast. I hope that you enjoyed this episode. And I can't wait to continue to inspire you, motivate you, and show up on the Luke Mind Power podcast. Wherever you're tuning in from, please keep believing in yourself, keep loving yourself, keep moving forward every single day. And remember that there are new episodes on the Luke Mind Power podcast every Tuesday and Friday. Okay. So make sure you're tuning in. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you leave a comment. Okay. Make sure you hit that bell so you get notified every single time there's a new episode that's launching, so that you can keep being inspired every single freaking day of the week, so that we make sure, especially 2025, let's crush the shit out of 2025. Let's make 2025 the best year that you've ever had in your life. And like I said, there's always a link down in the description below. Get one of our success resources that I create for you. It's absolutely free, and it's going to change your freaking life. And I'll see you on the next episode. Peace out. Let's go. I said, let's go. Come on. I'll see you soon.